For 36 years, the city has recognized people who represent Dr. King's values.
The highest honor is the Medallion Award. Listen to the pastor of Mayfield Memorial Missionary Baptist Church describe this year's winner.
He's young, but he is the he's the oldest young man I've ever met, but he is community-minded down to his DNA.
And this award is given for promoting racial equality, social justice, and community service.
I had the privilege of meeting the city's choice for this year's Medallion Award.
Sure does feel that way during this pandemic.
These days, Myers Park Baptist Church senior minister Reverend Dr. Benjamin Boswell delivers his sermons virtually. But from the moment he arrived in Charlotte in 2016,
no justice! No peace! No justice!
Amid racial protests after the death of Keith Lamont Scott, he's been hands-on.
One of my primary tasks would be to educate my congregation about the challenges facing the black community in the city of Charlotte, but also to look at ourselves in the mirror and try to understand what we as white people, what is our responsibility to do for the cause of justice, racial justice in our city.
His mission surely resonates. Dr. Peter Wary describes Reverend Boswell this way.
He is the best distillation of a servant leader and a firebrand, a prophetic leader for social justice.
Wary was with Boswell as they led their congregations on a bus tour through the Deep South, retracing the steps of the Black Freedom Movement.
There were tears. There was laughter, there was learning. Ben Boswell is creative and compassionate and powerful and fearless. This man is the epitome of a leader who accepts the mantle of responsibility but never chases it. And so as the result of this, spiritual power follows him. Believe it.
Certainly words and actions that draw parallels to the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Reverend Boswell led his church in erecting a Black Lives Matter sign out front with their mission words of being inclusive, spiritual, and just. And he created a 7-week spiritual affinity group where white people work to understand more about what it means to be white. Passionate work that Reverend Boswell has not done seeking acclaim. So, as we walk through the front doors of his church,
well, congratulations.
He had no idea that he would be awarded this year's MLK Medallion Award.
Then your members can certainly keep a secret.
Presented by the City of Charlotte.
Based on your life of service and all that you've done, we could not have thought of a better person this year to make this award to. You are very deserving, and we are honored to recognize you in the accomplishments that you've had over the years.
Reverend Boswell says he is humbled to be compared to Dr. King, who he calls his hero.
I've admired him since I was a child, and admired him as a pastor, admired him as a leader, as a teacher, as a radical activist, as a promoter of justice, as a preacher, as a scholar, and to be associated with him in any way and to be recognized by someone in our own city, as someone who is following in his footsteps, to me is the greatest honor that I could have in my entire life.
And this is a photo of Reverend Boswell with his daughter. He says that it is her future and the future of all of our children that he will continue to do this powerful work on behalf of them.